magic.
Oh my goodness, we're almost quarter of an hour late. I'm so sorry. And
I'm sorry to everyone who has to wait, but hey,
well,
technology.
we have a lovely friend of mine, Becky, joining us live at the moment, but she's chill, she's fine, she's doing the washing up, I think, so she's just
Lovely.
hanging out,
Oh,
hearing me have
Becky,
my technical issues. So,
you have a good background to your domestic chores, so it will be more pleasant for you while you
exactly.
with us. Otherwise, a cuppa or anything.
Oh, exactly. So welcome, Aneta. Thank you so much for coming on. It's been a little bit of a long time in the wait. We've been waiting to do this for a little while, haven't we? So it's so nice to be able to finally talk to you. And I want to hear all about your journey and why you've written your book. So do you want to
Like,
introduce yourself? And
yes, likewise, Pippa. Since ever I heard about you, I had this internal desire to connect with you, and I hope we meet in person because it feels like what I do and you do, it nicely interlaps and flows together. And it seems like what you offer is the extension of my work. So just so understanding everything what you do,
yeah,
I help people, mostly women and couple, to balance their hormones. Uh, and that. So maybe if I start from the very beginning.
yeah, let's
My
hear.
name is Aneta Grabiec, and I'm a nutritional therapist and psychologist. I'm also a mindfulness facilitator and yoga teacher. And through my work, I've attracted female clients who were either trying to get into optimal health, well-being, lose weight, or balance their hormones through holistic lifestyle. And
Yeah,
therefore, nutrition and psychology was very helpful. And I was getting feedback that they would help with their menstruation, either helping with endometriosis, PCOS, adenomyosis, blood sugar, weight loss, and such. So I was so interested in how what I often can help even more. And therefore, I studied even more detox, toxicology, and everything hormone and female well-being related. And I was attracting clients who would try maybe few few IVFs. I wouldn't call them sessions because it's a longer
yeah,
process than sessions. So obviously coming from challenges with fertility, eventually going for IVFs, IUIs, even surrogate, and any help with add technology with reproductive health, they would feel depleted. First of all, financially broke because we know IVF can be a very expensive business. Secondly, IVF involves hormonal injections which interfere with physical body and emotional health. And so these couples would come to me mostly for mental health and also using nutrition as a source to detoxify their bodies from everything that the body had to go through during the process of attempting to um, get pregnant, conceive, and yeah, implant embryo. And interestingly, after a few months, I would hear more and more often than them saying, "Thank you so much for your work. I could hear the difference. I could see the energy." But also, I would say, "By the way, I'm pregnant." So
oh, amazing.
it,
Yeah,
yes, it happened as a side effect of bringing the body and mind into that optimal state, the state when you understand, accept your emotional and physical needs, and also understand how to feed your body with lifestyle, which is sleep, nutrition, some supplements. I always say less is more, mindset. And somehow this would create this beautiful result. So I would say fertility was not my um, destination and motivation from day one of my practice. Everything else was, but this was bringing such beautiful results that I intended to concentrate more on that. And I would say 80 successful clients later, and I need to stress that most of my clients are over 40. The youngest was 35, The
Right.
oldest who conceived this year naturally is 46. So the results like this give me so much happiness. And
Yeah.
I didn't have a need to write a book about it, but my clients, few of them are pushing me, you need to have more people. This needs to come out to the world. If there is such a simple, natural way to boost fertility, and I'm not saying that everyone who wants to get pregnant should read the book, but everyone who is looking for optimal health, because I believe that our reproductive health is the extension of our overall well-being. So
Yeah,
physical,
well, we're all
mental.
linked up, aren't we? It's not just down to one magical, self-care aspect. It's bringing it all
Yes.
together in a holistic way, whether
And
it's
you know
our
it so well because
health
you
or,
ambassador. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
absolutely bringing it all together, on every level. So it's amazing that work kind of found you as well. Oh, sorry.
Yes, it found me so.
Sorry, I've just got a oh, I've got a weird beeping going on. Sorry
So
about that.
this
So,
is how
um,
this book was
oh,
created. And the original book that I sent to my publisher is about personal development, and the book will be coming out. It's my baby number one. The book is coming out in this side of Christmas. I would hope maybe October. But when they found out what I do, they said this is the book that needs to come out because this book will help so many people. So the title of the book is How to Get Pregnant, Shortcut to Your Fertility. So it's addressed to any woman in reproductive age. So I would say age 10, 12 up to menopausal because it talks about hormones. So I often also get the clients who read the book and book sessions with me because they look for natural contraception, or they look for the ways they are not planning to get pregnant, but they look for the ways to understand their body. Because very often when I work with clients, I base a lot on Chinese medicine. I would ask you how you sleep, what's coming out in the toilet. I look at your eyes, I look at your tongue, your pulse, your body temperature, your skin, your complexion, but also your menstruation is so important. So how long is your period? How frequent? What color is your blood? Any cloth, everything, what's happening? Because this really shows me how the body functions. So this book is written in a very simple language. It's nothing esoteric, so no one would get discouraged. It's like a manual to female well-being. It talks about hormones. There are graphs. I will show you how to understand what's going on for us in our cycle. If I only find the chapter. So progesterone, estrogen, there is attached yoga practice for fertility and also for PMS. Also how to recognize if you might be suffering with PCOS, and again, how to work with it naturally, because very often a medical approach to PCOS is steroidal hormonal drugs, metformin, something that you would use for diabetes, or you being told, I can't find this graph now because I'm looking for it. So it comes to me. You will find it in the book. I'll put the link into Amazon. The graph is there. So I'm just nicely describing a menstrual cycle because I also meet, obviously you and I, we in the profession of serving mostly women, and for us it's so obvious that understanding how we menstruate, how we ovulate, and how long is luteal and follicular phase of our cycle indicates our well-being, our fertility. But with my experience, about 90% of women do not understand it, and they feel somehow shamed and embarrassed, and not knowing, we're insecure, and we give ourselves 100% to medical providers. And I'm not saying medicine is wrong. I praise medicine for everything that offered us through the centuries, but I believe when we know better, we do better. So when I'm empowered with the knowledge about my body, when I understand it, I work with it, not against it. And the more I work with my body, the more I connect my mind. It's surely the same with birthing, right? As doula, right? You know, the process that when I feel so confident, I'm the best advisor and I best understand what's going on. And same comes to fertility.
I've been having some similar conversations with clients over the last few weeks in particular, and not necessarily like specifically about hormones, but about our disconnect, you know, as a culture, as Western women in particular, just being so disconnected from our bodies and what goes on. And it's no one's fault. You know, it's just change in society. It's where in our culture we tend to be in a very patriarchal society. I mean, this is a whole conversation in itself, but you know, how the medical system is run, how little girls are brought up with you know, not even necessarily having a name for their genitals, you know, or like a silly name because it's somehow shameful to, you know, use the real words. And so no wonder girls are growing up not understanding how their bodies work, not even from necessarily an intellectual point of view. You know, even we're talking about being disconnected on a sort of an energetic or, you know, emotional level, but even from a, you know, intellectual point of view as well. So I think books like yours and teaching and coaching and working with people that like we do, it can only be a good thing. And I'm sure, Aneta, as well, that you feel really strongly about the helping the women you're helping, but the next generation, so their children or their nieces or, you know, just any next generation coming up, have more support than this generation have.
So valid what you said. Yes, normalizing how female body functions, that menstruation is a natural and healthy sign of your body, right? Talking about hormones, talking about PMS. And what I find beautiful, only last week, I gave a workshop in HSBC, and there were mostly male participants on understanding what's happening during menstrual cycle and how female can feel and how to support females. So now HSBC will be offering sick leave for women. It's mostly adenomyosis and endometriosis. I'm not sure if your listeners understand what adenomyosis and endometriosis is. It's the condition of inflammation. It's partly genetic, but mostly inflammation in the female body when endometrial tissues are growing outside endometrium lining. So anywhere inside the body, anywhere, maybe just the pains around lower back, right? Because it can be around your ovaries, around your bladder, around your kidneys, and it's just cruciating pain, a lot of bloating.
Yeah, and not talked about. Well, I think people are
talked about, and it's also, it contributes to mental health challenges. So depression, anxiety, there's a lot. So it was very interesting for me to see where the audience was mostly male and them asking questions and trying to understand how to support their employees and their female colleagues, also their wives and their daughters. So we were talking about vocabulary, and it was awkward, but we came up with beautiful results. So I'm very, very happy that this is becoming normalized, such as mental health, right? That female body, menstruation, same, I hope will happen and soon will, because now it comes to press miscarriages, infertility, right? That's something celebrities talk about, and it's that's something that also I would love to support in bigger terms, because yes, there's a lot in this book about it. There's also one chapter about male infertility, because little do we know, as soon as you're 35, if you're lucky to conceive naturally, and I'm saying lucky because many cases that this is not happening and women are pushed directly for IVF, IUI sometimes, and they are labeled as geriatric pregnancy straight away because, you know, they are 35, so it's geriatric. And they are told your eggs are old, you're basically useless. And I think medical science doesn't understand that while the number of eggs, the quantity of eggs with age is dropping, the quality doesn't necessarily have to drop. So the book also describes the process of improving the quality of the eggs. And we're born with few billions of eggs. I assume in the 40s we left with few hundreds. I haven't had a client yet who wanted to have few hundreds children, 1, 2, at that mature eggs was a dream. So if we put this into our minds and concentrate on the golden egg, on working how to improve the quality of your eggs, and that's the program I offer. But also be aware that currently with my clients, I've noticed that shift in about 2 years. About 40% of challenges or infertility is due to male factor. 40%.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And again, not talked about. It's, you know, all of this needs to come out of the taboo, doesn't it?
Yes, and it's
Yeah,
such a simple way to improve sperm. It takes about 3 months. It's about 90 days to improve the quality of sperm. And very often women are told, oh, it's impossible for you, or try IVF. And it's, if we were just aware, if you are still on the journey to your motherhood and you would love to have a baby, think about the sperm health as well. Not just you, but sperm health, and improve your overall well-being.
We have a comment from Becky, actually. Aneta says, I think she made this comment when we were talking about girls and women's bodies and how like unaware we are of how they work growing up. She says, this really resonates with me. I can't believe now that I didn't understand my cycle in terms of fertility until so recently. All women and girls should absolutely have this knowledge. So,
yes, Becky,
you know,
exactly.
with your work, you know, going and talking to men as well, because, you know, we aren't all separate. We live, you know, in families, in couples, and you know, men are fathers, our uncles, our brothers, and to have that understanding through everybody is so important.
Yes, and especially now when we becoming more open-minded about everything around. And only recently I had a client who was still hiding her tampons and pads in the bathroom so her husband wouldn't see them. And I just asked, they've been married for 13 years, and I'm just thinking, how is this realistic? He has sisters, he's got mothers, so it's just, this needs to be normalized, right?
Yeah,
this needs to be, we need to be aware of differences in our anatomy, physiology, and respect that, honor that this is our human.
And when you say, it's interesting you say respect it and honor it, you know, you can do that on so many levels as well. You know, some people really get quite spiritual about honoring, you know, their body parts and the amazing things that they can do. But also just from sort of a general self-care, coming back to what you were saying earlier in your book, you know, it's talking about hormones and how to bring your body into its most natural state in terms of making all our systems working well, you know, but to bring in our fertility and our internal organs into that, you know, self-care package, so to speak, is so important. It's such an important part of our empowerment and how we feel connected, how we look after ourselves on a holistic sense, isn't it?
Right, and as you say, holistic, as I would also say holistic package, as you say, because exactly, yeah, when I'm looking at the chapters, and I just say to my clients, because they, you know, we all as humans, we want instant gratification. We want it right now, right here. I want it, give me. And people don't understand that it takes time, right? To conceive, to, I love the saying, it just came out to me naturally, and I always say, on your journey to motherhood, mother yourself first. So in terms of your emotion and your awareness, whatever your journey is, if it's spiritual or any way you make yourself more aware of who you are, what your needs are, what your limitations are, accepting who you are, loving yourself more, noticing that you're enough, right? All these things. So this is your mental journey towards your motherhood. And then physical journey, which is literally any chapter of this book will be sleep, as we said, right? Because sleep is so regenerating and detoxifying the body. Preventing, because prevention is always better than curing something. So when we tune in with this body and when we understand the symptoms, then we understand how we can heal before it's too late.
So it's like with so many aspects of self-care where you're responding rather than reacting. And of course, sometimes we get to rock bottom and that's when we react and that's when we start our journeys. But if we can get the word out there to people that to respond to what our needs might be ahead of getting to the point where we need to react,
Exactly.
then that's going to be
Understanding,
even
oh,
better.
my body is just like when you invest in your personal development and you start understanding your reactions versus your responses. It's the same with the body. You notice some symptoms like, oh, I know why this is happening and I know how I can help my body. So there's a chapter here about that. I'm also a strong believer that we need to understand ourselves more and then advocate for ourselves in front of the medical providers, because very often our lovely, amazing NHS is so overloaded and the doctors have either it's GP or any specialist, they've got 5 minutes to see you and they don't have the time to investigate what's going on. So I educate my clients, you go and get what you need. How?
Yes.
Ask the right questions and feel confident that you've got the full right to ask that question and demand the answer from the professional. Because otherwise we confronted, we've got no idea what's going on, and we subject to anything that they may say. And they literally have 5 minutes and they probably see 20, 30 people a day. So you really need to advocate for yourself, and the best way to do it is to get the knowledge and know what's going on for you and for your body, right? It's just, I tell everyone.
And just ask questions, as you say, and if you've got a few key questions, that can lead to a good discussion, with the doctor, so that that 5-10 minutes that you have can be put to maximum benefits. So Netta, I wanted to speak a little bit about, you're a psychologist as well. You talked earlier about, in terms of preparing for pregnancy and fertility, about mindsets. Obviously, for some people, especially if it's been taking a while, it can be extremely stressful and upsetting journey through fertility and to conceive. Would you say that the other aspects of what you bring in when you're working with people, help them with the rise and fall of that journey when you're working with them?
I don't omit this aspect to concentrate on something else. I make them actually very aware. However, the foundation for fertility, I would say, is the diet and lifestyle. Why? Because this is the easiest to achieve. It's easier to schedule in that sleep. It's easier to feed your body with the better quality nutrients, because you notice the result almost instantly. So we're working on that as a foundation. And when people start feeling better, stronger, more confident with their body, they find their motivation and they find their why, because they see, oh, this is possible for me. Then we access that emotional, mental piece of the puzzle, which is very important. And we work, there's a lot of mindfulness, NLP, positive psychology, but also space and silence to accept. We work on the art of letting go, which is the hardest for us humans. We all love to grasp, and our ego wants to grasp, and we want to know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, and we want to be in a full control of it, every step of the process. So we're working on that though we know what we want, and the universe knows, God knows, or whoever is there for us, that higher self that we believe in, knows what we want. So we can, this is just a simple way of me talking you through what I work with the clients, that it's more tangible for them. But I'm aware we haven't got 10-week session therapy here, but just a few minutes or half an hour or so to discuss it. So and I believe it's for everything and anyone in life, that whatever you want, literally send it out. You want it, send that energy out, but stop fixating and being obsessed about it. I know it's easier to say than done, but with the practice it's possible.
Yeah,
so
and
not
that's
stopping living
a fine
your life.
balance, isn't it? It can be a fine balance,
which is very hard
as well, with wanting something really badly, So focusing all my energy on it, but then needing to find that balance of letting go of the tight grip of trying to get that, and letting things ease off, integrate, have some spaciousness, and let go of the exactly wanting to know the when and the how, and where sometimes as well. You know, to let that flow and let that be, and be open to receiving.
Being open to receiving, exactly. Sending our wish, desire out there, doing what's possible but not obsessing about it, using our energy to create and live our life. Because especially in fertility, when we're so fixated and obsessed, we stop living our life, we forget to live our life, which brings negative results for our physical body. Because the mind and body is connected, and hormones are so clever, they are like detectors. As soon as you're obsessed, as soon as you're stressed, your progesterone is dropping down. Well, progesterone, just like the name says, progestation, is the hormone supporting pregnancy and helping to get pregnant, and the one that thickens uterine lining is declining. You know it, right? Yeah. So this is not supporting pregnancy. This will contribute to either irregular or poor ovulation when LH, FSH is low, right? So keeping it all in balance, we need to live in harmony. We need to truly allow ourselves to be out there. And having this courage is hard. As I said, yes, this is not easy, but it's possible. Just small steps for big results, slowly. So in my courses, in my therapies, I offer techniques to help with that. That can be applied to anything in life. How to live carelessly, I call it, in a way that, yes, I know what you want, send it out there, stay open. And how it comes to you, it doesn't really matter. I can give the example of people who so strongly wanted to become parents. It's a physical need, as we know, right? So it's our core, physical, emotional, and at some point in life we create a space. And these days, couples, women, somehow decide to enter motherhood later in life, which is understandable because we are looking for the right match or for the financial situation. And at some point when we feel we're ready in that department, we met the right person and we financially where we could provide and be responsible for someone else, and we feel that we're mature enough, ironically, then we struggle to conceive. So having it all ready, but also preparing yourself and knowing in your head it is possible. You can heal your body. You can heal your body with the energy work, with the emotions, with your knowledge. And less is more. Very often I meet clients who have studied Dr. Google in and out. They could have PhD in fertility online, and they are taking 20 supplements a day. And it's so harmful for your body, for your liver, causing so much toxicity. Sometimes it's as easy as that emotional piece, that mental work. Yeah. Recently, I had a couple who they've tried for a very long time. They are both in their mid-40s, and the lady has endometriosis, and then is also autoimmune condition for her partner and his sperm quality. And during our work together in the past 6 months, we've improved a lot. However, this is not fully curable, his autoimmune condition and her endometriosis. So we slowly were transitioning onto how else to receive a child. I can't tell anyone consider adoption or fostering because this is not my position, but I always encourage everyone to see other ways. What's the way if you would like to expand your family and welcome a child? What would be other ways? And one day she woke up and she had that vision, we have to adopt. Oh. And it took only 2 months for them. Sometimes it takes forever. Wow. And it just was meant. Yes, it was very fast. It was meant to be. And guess what? They adopted. And 3 months later, she was pregnant. It was incredible. Oh, it was a miracle. Yes.
You hear this, don't you? You hear of this where someone has just let go in the end, let go of that grip, and then they're in full receiving mode.
Yes, this is. I gave this example to show that emotional health, our mindset is equally important as healing our body. It's equally important as sleep, as knowing what medical tests to request from your medical provider, what referral to get to, supplements, knowing about your progesterone, estrogen, when you ovulate, how to check your temperature and symptoms of your ovulation, and checking how long your cycle is, and if both sides of the cycle are more or less even, the luteal and follicular phase. This is all very important. It's very important to see how you bleed. But that equals that mental peace. What's my attitude towards it? Because the growth we achieve during that practice, that mental, personal growth, this will help us so much to become the best version of ourselves and offer the best parenting.
Yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing information. You're a fountain of knowledge, Aneta. I could chat to you all afternoon, and presumably people can get your book all the usual places, and you've got your own website. Do you want to let people know what the website is, and we can put it in the comments?
Yes,
as well.
I can put it there when this goes live. The website is literally called How to Get Pregnant Shortcuts, and when you go on the website, you will receive 3 bonuses, 3 free of charge bonuses. So there is a nutrition on the budget ebook where you can download, and there's about 60 recipes of light, nourishing, fun to prepare food. It's all on the budget, and it's all within 20 minutes preparation. It's all colorful, so it boosts your body, boosts fertility. It trims your waistline, but most important, you can prepare with your family because it's a short preparation time, it's fun, and it's inexpensive way to eat well. There is also fertility yoga class for any woman to bring circulation onto your reproductive organs. You can practice around your menstruation, PMS, even if you suffer from endometriosis, adenomyosis, anything else, and also meditation practice, the stories we tell ourselves. So that's something very powerful that everyone can access. It's free of charge. Otherwise, you can get the book on Amazon. And if anyone listening, watching this, feels the pull to book a session with me, so for everyone from Radical Self-Care Movement, I'm offering 20% discount, and I will send this book signed personally to your doorstep, and it will be a gift from me. So please do connect.
Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, how
yes,
wonderful.
No, it's just we're here to support each other. So if anyone is in need of help around female well-being, reproductive health, hormonal balance, and how to put it together with everything else, lifestyle, in uncomplicated way that doesn't stress you, to get in touch. I'm always open.
That's the thing, isn't it, Aneta? Because there's so much to consider, but really, when we get to the bare bones of it, it's simplifying our lifestyle, simplifying our mindset, so we'll be clear at all the messiness and the busyness and all the confusion out, to make way then for that receiving. So
true. And it's something beautiful. My grandma, who is still alive, the wisest person on this planet, she would always tell me, don't eat anything that I wouldn't eat, which means mostly packaged, mostly processed, and mostly anything that with the ingredients that you can't pronounce, you shouldn't eat it. So it's as simple as it is, right? As you said, simplifying your life. So detoxifying from food, chemicals, also emotional toxins. So do I need to read everything and believe in everything I see on Facebook or Instagram? Do I need to offer 5 hours of my day to social media? Little food for thought like this for each of us, just so we all, when we know better, we do better for ourselves.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Thank you. I wish we could carry on. Thank you so much for doing this live with me today. We'll put details in the comments underneath the live video, and I hope to speak to you again really soon.
Yes, me too. It's been a pleasure. You take care of yourself and everyone else who will listen to it or is listening. Perhaps
Yes.
soon there'll be another occasion, opportunity to talk about any other exciting project regarding well-being and radical self-care.
That would be brilliant. Thank you so much, and welcome to everyone who's watched on the replay. Do post #replay, and if you've got any questions for us or Aneta, then please do post them again. So take care, everyone. See you later.
Thank you. Bye bye.